Hi guys, happy Thursday. Blah. Alright, so first, thank you to all of the moms. I had an it was an amazing landslide of emails and comments on yesterday's session with the transgender and, all of that. So, just the outpouring of the emails was incredible. I didn't really I personally don't understand it. I should. I feel like I should understand it more, so I am taking, steps to better myself in my understanding of the transgender life. So, I kind of understand it to an extent, but I still identify as, my male. I'm male, so I just let, the feminine side show a little bit more, so a lot more so than the regular guy. So yes, I will always support transgender. Everybody. It's not. Nobody asks. Nobody wakes up and says, I'm going to, make my life that much harder and, just turn around and, become gay, lesbian, or transgender. Yeah, we don't wake up and say that, so I understand. I can understand where that part comes from. So, but yes, I will always support, always, no matter what. I don't care who agrees, who doesn't agree. If you don't agree with a person, a normal human being wanting to be in the body that they feel that they should be in, then there's something wrong with that person. So anybody that gives you guys shit for being transgender, tell them to talk to me. Pick on me. I would rather that. I would rather them pick on me than you. So, but yes, I will never stop supporting you guys. I mean, we are that culture, that subculture. We're all together. So, perfect. It's perfect. You guys are perfect the way you are. Well, some of you don't think you are, but you really are. So I was doing a little research on it this morning, and transgender and hermaphrodites actually have a lot more power than the average person. So that would make sense. The prenatal, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the prenatal conditions of the fluids surrounding the baby. So I'm just still trying to wrap my mind around that, but, so yes, as long as everybody's happy, that's all I care about. What else? But yes, you guys don't have to thank me, ever, because I care. I just care. It's me. It's purely me, and I do care. I care too much, so I will go above and beyond, and I will actually start fights for you guys, which I shouldn't be doing, but I do it anyway because my mouth is very big. Alright, so, how are we doing, Ouija Boot Campers? Good? Good. Okay, so, I have to get to work on channeling the boards for the both of you, and now, we went over the first part of the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, and that was the Kabbalistic Cross. I did find another version of the Kabbalistic Cross in, the Doctrine and Ritual of High Magic. Basically the same. Basically, it all has the same meaning. So, that's basically the sign of the cross. Touch the forehead, touch the stomach, touch the right shoulder, touch the left shoulder. Prayer position. Well, a prayer position. Cup your, and it's within the Gnostic doctrine. There is the Kabbalistic cross, so it's even earlier than Catholicism. So it's even older than that. So I didn't know that. So pretty amazing. But I really want to just emphasize on how important the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram actually is. I actually wrote down yesterday, I finished writing down the opening. Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry. Fucking UPS, I'm so tired of the mail. Alright, so... yes. We went over the first part of the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. And we did the Kabbalistic cross. So, the second part is the formulation of the pentagrams. So, step 1, you're going to go to your... okay, so step 1, going to your left, move around to the front of your altar, to the edge of the space of your circle, so that you are at the east. So, east edge of the circle, and you're facing away from the middle of the circle where your altar stands. So in other words, you are at the east, and you're facing east. So you're facing east. So you're facing east, draw a pentagram. You're going to draw the pentagram. Be sure to visualize the figure as a flaming gas jet blue pentagram as you draw. So basically you're just going to go to the east. So that's my east. So you're going to start from down here. This is the banishing pentagram, which is up, down, back up to your left, to the right, and you're going to end right back down where you started. So that's your regular pentagram, drawing it with your right hand, with your right finger, right. So that is the banishing pentagram. So, and then you're going to visualize that. It's going to be a giant flaming blue, electric blue pentagram, and you will feel this too. You will feel all of this. It is amazing. Alright, so step 2, inhale through the nose, and as you do, feel energy flow from the ends of the universe through your nose and body, and down and out of the bottoms of your feet to the center of the earth. So, you are no longer at the center of your magical circle, and thus at the center of the universe, as in the first part of the ritual. So you are literally outside of space and time within this circle, which is amazing. So as you inhale, though, both hands should be raised to the sides of your body by your ears. The dagger, if you're wanting to use one, or your right hand index finger should be pointing forward. So like this. Now you have your left hand down to your side. Okay. Yes. Okay, your left hand, or if your dagger, should be pointing down or forward. Your left hand, which should have remained at your side until now, is drawn into a similar position by your left ear. So the next, with the index finger pointing forward, the rest of the fingers closed into a fist. So, alright, basically, you're going to do that too. So, you're going to have this side like this, down on the ground. Only the left arm is going to be facing down, just like the Baphomet. And the right hand is going to be up, like this. And you're going to draw your pentagram. So really visualize it. Literally visualize that and feel that energy. It's pretty amazing. So, alright. Okay, so step forward with your left foot. So, and at the same time thrust your hands forward so that they point at the exact middle of the glowing blue pentagram in front of you. So this position is known as the God form, and in the God form is also known as the Emperor. So, as you do this, you should exhale and feel the energy come back up your body, out your arms and hands, through the pentagram, and to the ends of the universe. So, you should use the entire exhalation to vibrate the God name, Yud-He, Vav-He. So basically, all you're doing, facing east, draw your pentagram, visualize it, the big blue, like that. Now it's flaming, it's blue, I can see it, I can feel it, I can hear crackling. My left hand is at my side, pointing down, my finger like this. I'm going to take one step forward with my left foot, and I'm going to take my finger like this, and I'm going to push it straight through the middle of that pentagram, and I am going to vibrate Yud, He, Vav, He. So that is for the east. So, alright. Now you're going to go around. So, as you do that, you're going to stay in the east, so you're going to walk. So you're going to do this. Here's the east. So, da, 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 da. Left foot down, and then through the pentagram. And then you're going to come around, feet back together, and you're going to come around to this side. And then you're going to draw your pentagram again like this for the south. So the south, and that is, remember, your arm should be down like this. So, and then you're going to Yud, He, or Adonai. So that is Adonai, facing that way. So, we have east is Yud, He, Vav, He. South is Adonai. The west is the water. So you're going to do your pentagram. You're going to see a flaming blue. Perfect, beautiful blue. You're going to take your finger. Step left foot forward. And that was for... yes, okay, to the west is He, Ye. He, Ye. And then you're going to take your finger and right through the pentagram. So, but make sure you see the pentagram being formed, make sure you see the circle surrounding you, and make sure you see that line that connects each pentagram. So we have done east, we have done south, we have done west. Now you're going to take it, you're going to put your feet back together, you're going to walk to the north. So, and then you're going to do your vanishing pentagram like this. You're going to take a finger right through the middle of the pentagram, and you are going to, and then you're going to say Agla. So now that's done. Your formulation of the pentagrams are done. Very simple. So, all right. Yeah. The north is Agla, and I will blog this for you guys. So, all right. Your seventh step: complete the circle by connecting a white line from the north to the east, where you began. Then moving in the same clockwise direction, come back behind the altar and in front of the chair as when you started the ritual. So you should once again be facing east. So if you don't have room for a circle, simply pivot where you stand before the altar. That's what I do because I hate behind my altar. So now step 8. Now, you are going to visualize the brilliant white circle expanding up and down to form a sphere above, below, and around you. So what you have done is you have created a sphere in brilliant white all around you with the electric blue pentagrams at the quarters, which have been charged and sealed with the names of God. Very, very simple. And I keep going way out of focus. There, I think that's better. Maybe. So yes, it is very, very an amazing, very amazing. So that's that. That is the formulation of pentagrams. So I still need to blog this for you guys. So I must keep this. Like that. So yes, very interesting, very nice. When you're done, oh shoot, I totally just skipped a step. Alright. So Okay, when you're done, when you're completely done after step 9, step 10, you carry the line to the east, completing the circle to the center with the white line. So, then you're still at the east, you're going to face your altar, and you're going to raise your hands. You're going to raise your hands like this, in the form of the Emperor, palms like this. And then you are going to say, before me Raphael, behind me Gabriel, on my right hand Michael, and on my left hand Oriel. For about me flames the pentagram, and within me shines the six-rayed star. So, when you're done with that, you're going to do the Kabbalistic cross one more time. So, shit. Damn it, I keep losing my spot. Alright, and then a little note, in the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, there are words which are meant to be said forcefully and with authority, such as, for about me flames the pentagram. But there are also words in Hebrew which are meant to be vibrated, and those are the names of God at each of the pentagrams. So, Adonai, and you'll feel that vibrate throughout your whole body, and what corresponds to the directions and then in your body as well. So, and then you're going to do a Kabbalistic cross again. So, very simple. Stand. Do the relaxation. Well, no, don't do the relaxation ritual again. Just stand in front of your altar. When you're done after you called on the archangels, stand there like this. Let yourself rise all the way up into the solar system. And then you're going to see that little ball of light. It's pretty big. Don't look at it directly, go blind. And then bring it down into your forehead. Touch your between your brows. You're going to say Ata. Bring that white line of energy down. And then make sure you are going like this. Pointing down, Malkuth, and then bring that line back up to the right shoulder, Vikbura, bring that line back over to the left shoulder, Vikdula, cross the hands, prayer position, whatever you want to do, you can do this, Leolam, Amen, and that's that. So, for thine is the glory, the kingdom, the power, forever and ever. That's what that means. The Kabbalistic cross. Ata, Malkuth, Vigdura, Vigdula, Leolam, Amen. And then you will feel the difference. I mean, you will literally feel the difference. So, very good ritual. And it's very fun to do the pentagrams and visualize them. And for me personally, this is the major one that I stick with because there are too many different pentagrams to draw. There's a ton. There's the invoking, the banishing, evoking. There's just a lot. Ceremonial magic is very, very different. Very different. So, what do you guys think? Easy? It sounds really hard. When I first started, I thought, I am never gonna ever understand this. I'm never gonna get this done. I will die trying. Okay, I didn't die trying. I was frustrated for a long time, but it took me to get the whole ritual down for the Lesser Banishing Ritual, the pentagram, a good month. So just practice it. I used to do it every single day, in the morning, at night. It clears out energy. When I do the pentagrams, it's almost as if I can see, it's like a suction, the negativity it just sucks out. And it just looks like sparkles and everything feels clean. Everything feels better. So essentially what you are doing is you are just ridding the negative and bringing in the divine. That's all you're doing. So, There's many different variations of this too. I will give you guys the Luciferian one too, because I think that it does deserve a spot. EA Coedding, he has one amazing video, and he does the entire Lesser Banishing Ritual to Pentagram within his tradition, which I suggest that you guys watch too, just so you guys know about that one too. The more you know, the better. Alright, what book is that in? Alright, it's in Ouija Pop. So it's at the very back of the book for Ouija Pop. So, okay. Let's see. Where did I put this? Alright. Oh, and the whole abracadabra, the manifesting thing in Ouija Pop, I have found so much more on that. A lot more on that. Okay. Oh god. Zozo got too much room in this book. Alright, I think I found it. Didn't find it yet. Here we go. Alright, Luciferian Banishing Ritual. It's very similar, so this is a great way to clear your mind before and after any rite. It also banishes any negativity in your body and from your space. So here's a basic before and after work. So you're going to face the altar, locate the east, take the athame, and make the sign of the invoking pentagram, a verse, which would be upside down. And envision a light emerge from your being. So, do it like this. Upside down this time only. Facing east. And then you are going to say, by the light of Lucifer, born of my desire for the attainment of becoming, open to the gates of the dead and protect my being, spirit and flesh. Noctifer observe. So, yeah. Now, touch your forehead and recite Ate, or Ata, which means unto thee. So, facing the north, which would be that way. You're going to make the sign of the invoking pentagram, a verse. So, the same way we did the other ones, only just upside down this time. Reversed. Okay. And you're going to envision the graves of the earth opening forth and encircling you, protecting you from all outside forms. And then you're going to say, by the light of Azazel, who brought to man and woman the knowledge of the serpent, attend my being in the protection of the kin of witch blood. So, and then you're going to go down, same way, hand over your parts, finger pointing down, and you are going to recite Malkuth, the kingdom. So, that you're going to face west, which I'm facing west right now. And you're going to make the sign of the invoking pentagram again, but upside down. So like this. And envision the waters circling you, forming great tempests, with serpents and dragons seeking to devour that which would attack you. See, this is from Michael Ford. I find this to be basically just pretty much amazing. It's more personal, and it's more focusing on the elementals, the ruler, the elementals. They are going to protect you more. It's just what I get from this one. So, and then you're going to say, by the call of Shemiza, may the hidden knowledge and protection be revealed. By the desire of my many forms shall be passed from the grave to life. Okay, now we're going to do the right shoulder. The Gubura and the power. Now, left shoulder. The Gedula in the glory. You're going to face the south. A little bit different. You're going to do the upside down pentagram, which is not evil, by the way. And you're going to make the sign, what you made the sign, symbolizing the matter of flesh, the flesh and psyche, which allows spirit to emerge, the spirit god to emerge. So, now, then you're going to say, the south, I cannot pronounce these words. I think they're Hebrew. Baragija, allow the stars to align with my everlasting protection. May the dead hear my call. Now, you're going to face your altar and recite. This is the, this part is where we would be calling on the archangels. So, but this one is the archangels in Luciferian tradition. Or I don't know what tradition, honestly. So, before me, Lucifer. Behind me, a Shaitan. On my right hand, Belial. On my left hand, Leviathan. For about me flames the pentagram. And in the columns stands the seven-rayed star of Babylon, Lilith. So, not much of a difference. It's not much of a difference. There's a difference, different names, but the intention of this ritual is the same. So, like I said in my book, this is the Luciferian Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram. So there are so many different forms of it out there, you have a candy store to choose from. So I use the regular Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram. So this one just feels better for me personally. So, yeah, that's one of them. So yes. Wow. This book came out really good. So, within this book I have creating a spirit vessel within a Luciferian context. So, I have actually included pretty much everything. Everything. So yeah, I'm very happy with this book. Very, very happy with how this book turned out. My book. My own book. That's sad. So, this sounds pretty easy, right? It is. So don't let it fool you. Donald Michael Craig suggests getting the bigger index cards. Do the formulation of the names and everything on those. So write your ritual down, summarize it. Now for the banishing ritual, the hexagram, I will do that some other time. That's something that I still have to learn. The middle pillar ritual, it's too much for me. Can't do it. There's too much happening. Too much energy. It literally about drove me crazy. Huh. So, just a little bit of two different variations of it. So, and it also helps to do that when you use the Ouija a lot, like me. You do a lot of magical work, like me. It's good. It's a spiritual cleansing in a sense. So very powerful, very powerful, simple, effective, powerful. So what else? There's so much that I want to share with you guys. So much. It's crazy. I thought about since I now understand the tarot, I have a feeling that I have a very good grasp on the major arcana of the tarot, and being able to read it as a book, it's becoming a lot easier, and it's really, really amazing. So that is something that I thought about for the future, way off in the future, not yet. We aren't even done with Ouija Boot Camp. We haven't even really got into our sessions yet. So how are you guys doing with sessions? I hope good. Alright, so there's just some stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. So, I thought it was pretty cool. I've been seeing all kinds of slips, air spirits in all the photos that I post on my public page. You guys see those and they're crazy. I mean, the incense smoke, literally, that is an evocation. So literally don't know what I'm evoking, but I just ask Baphomet to give me a sign and keep me safe. Then I light my incense and then flash on. So, alright, there is a lot in here that I wanted to share with you guys. It's amazing. It really is. Let's see. Okay. So there was a little more in here about just what I wanted to show you guys. So, I don't know where it went. I do not know where it went. Okay, so, magical equilibrium, which is keeping yourself balanced. So, when you do your workings, your Ouija workings, for now, space it out. So, for every magical working, make sure you do something different. Something that you haven't done before. So, say you do a magical working, or you do a Ouija session, you want to, after that, you want to do your necessary rites and clean up, and then you want to do something that you wouldn't normally do. So, that is acting, or that's not acting, but that is following through with analogy. So, that way you can actually, kind of get your mind off of it. You're not dwelling on it. It's not going to burden you all day. Thinking, is my spell going to work, or is my session going to be okay, or, did I do it right? You don't have to think about that. Don't think about that. So, alright, so equilibrium is a result of two forces. We all know that. So, okay. The opposites thus act upon opposites. So, in all of nature, by correspondence and analogical connection. So, the entirety of life is composed of inhalation and exhalation. Creation is the placing of a shadow to serve as a limit to light, of a void to provide room for the plenitude of being, of a fertile passive principle to support and realize the power of the active generative principle. Now, alright, this is where some of the other stuff comes in. All of nature is bisexual, and movement which produces the appearance of death and of life is a continual generation. So, pretty interesting, very interesting. So, to know the law of this exchange, to know the alternative or simultaneous proportion of these forces, is to possess the first principles of the great magical arcanum, which constitutes true human divinity. So, this is very interesting. So, alright, so scientifically we can appreciate the diverse manifestations of universal movement through the phenomena of electricity or magnetism. So, that makes sense, right? Electrical instruments, in particular, materially and positively reveal the affinities and the antipathies of certain substances. The marriage of copper with zinc, the action of all of the metals in a galvanic battery are undeniable and perpetual revelations. So, may scientists search and discover. So the Kabbalists will explain the discoveries of science. So literally, science is backing us up, and people are just not seeing it. People aren't saying that science is backing what we do up, especially with mediumship, channeling. So, to quote Levi, in order for the medium to produce the real results, spirit must strike our nervous system. Thus, the nervous system, you, us, our brain, the very back of the brain, well, it's at the center of the back of the brain, the nervous system. It must be somehow messed with in order for true mediumship to actually come about. So, for instance, when you see people, just literally, when I do my Ouija, you guys know that I am fully in it. I am in it. I love my Ouija. I love teaching it. I love talking about it. But you guys see how I try to face this iPad towards my eyes, so you guys can kind of get a glimpse of me trancing out. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So it does take all of our senses to have a true mediumistic Ouija session. So when people tell you that the Ouija, they want it to move on its own, it doesn't work that way. It never will. It can. It's happened before. So, but it doesn't work that way. It takes all of us. So we tap into that magical current of the astral light, which is that of whoever we are talking to. We imagine them. That the key is imagination, which triggers the nervous system, and it results in bodily movements. So without that, nope, we couldn't. So literally, it is influencing our brains. So we have to have bodily movement within Ouija. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Okay. Where did I go? So, alright, this is a pretty cool statement too. So the human body is subject, like the earth, to a double law. It attracts and it radiates. It is magnetized by an androgynous magnetism. So, and acts upon the two powers of the soul, the intellectual and the emotive, in inverse manners, but proportional to the alternate forces of the two sexes within each physical organism. So within each of us, we have, all of our organs are bisexual in nature. So they have female, male energy. So, this is really good. I love this. So the art of the magnetizer entirely regards to the knowledge and the use of this power. So to polarize action and give the agent a bisexual and alternating force is the means still unknown and vainly searched for, or directing the phenomena of magnetism at will. But it requires a highly practiced sense of intuition and great precision of the internal movements to not confuse the signs of magnetic aspiration with those of respiration. One must also perfectly know occult anatomy and the particular temperaments of the person upon whom one acts. So, what acts as the greater obstacle to the direction of magnetism is the bad faith or bad will of the subjects. So that is to say, if you expect the bad, you will get the bad. If you expect the good, you will get the good. Very, very interesting. So, Very interesting. There's a lot more in here that I wanted to tell you guys about, so what else? So here's a little bit more on Baphomet too. I have been finding the magical androgynon has written on its arm, right arm, Salve, on its left arm, Coagula, which corresponds to the symbolic figure of the workers of the Second Temple, who hold in one hand a sword and in the other a trowel. So at the same time as one builds, one must defend one's works by dispersing the enemy. Nature does nothing else when it destroys at the same time as it regenerates. Yet, according to the allegory of the magical calendar of Dushmantu, man, that is to say the initiate, is the ape of nature, who holds him by a chain, but who makes him ceaselessly imitate the procedures and the works of his divine mistress and of her imperishable model. Pretty good. So the alternative use of contrary forces, heat after cold, gentleness after severity, love after anger, etc., is the secret to perpetual movement and the prolongation of power. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So, that is what coquettish women instinctively sense when they make their adorers go from hope to fear and from joy to sadness. To always act in the same sense and in the same manner is to overcharge a simple pan of balance, and the result will soon be the absolute destruction of the equilibrium. So, switch it up. Switch it up if you want to. So, just so in magic, one must temper the works of anger or rigor by operations of beneficence and love. If the operator holds to a will extended in the same manner and in the same sense, the result for him will be great fatigue, and soon after a sort of moral impotency. So, now this goes into the magical operations of a ritual, spell, or rite, and the Ouija session itself. So, okay, a magical operation must always be followed by a time of rest equal to its length, an analogical distraction, but contrary to its subject, to continually fight against nature, to dominate and vanquish it, is to put one's reason and life at risk. So, that's some very key stuff that I thought you guys would need to know. So, alright. But let me see if I can find this. Okay, because all is ruled and determined in advance by the unique and universal doctrine of Hermes. Okay, so Hermes and Thoth are the same, just different cultures. Greece and Egypt. So that of analogy in the three worlds, every sign corresponds to an idea and the special form of an idea. Every act expresses a corresponding will and thought and formulates the analogies of that thought and of that will. So the rite as are thus determined in advance by the science itself. So, pretty interesting. So, alright, and then it just kind of talks about Levi's tribe, where he was from. So, very, very interesting. So basically, conjuring. What are we doing when we use the Ouija board? Are we channeling or are we conjuring? Should we find out? We should. So, to conjure is to oppose the resistance of a current and a chain, to be an isolated spirit, conjurer, to vow together, that is to say, to profess a common faith. The more enthusiasm and power that this faith has, the more efficacious will the conjuration be. So, we are more channeling. So it's more of a channeling. So let's see. Where did I find? All right. Here's what I wanted to tell you guys. All right. So visions of another world made one man disgusted with this one, and he killed himself. So this is where the whole being addicted to magic and the astral world intoxication, astral intoxication comes in. So this story should render those curious about magical ceremonies more circumspect. So, alright. Now this is the good part right here. You guys know the number of the beast, supposedly. Now, listen to this. Okay. The tyranny before the foundation, being the foundation of magical doctrine, must necessarily be observed in evocations. It is also the symbolic number of realization and of effect. Listen to this. The letter, it looks like a funky W. So it looks like kind of like a little pitchfork, like this. But it has a little funny, it's Hebrew. So, the letter this is, what is the letter? Oh, it's the Hebrew letter Shin. So, the letter Shin is ordinarily drawn on Kabbalistic pentacles, whose object is to accomplish a desire. Alright, so this letter is also the mark of the scapegoat in the mythical Kabbalah, and St. Martin observed that this letter, interested in the incommunicable tetragrammatron, produces the name of the Redeemer of Men, which would be, Uisha. So that is what the blah 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 of the Middle Ages represented when, in their nocturnal assemblies, they exhibited a symbolic goat carrying a lit torch on its head between its horns. This monstrous animal, whose allegorical form and bizarre cult we will describe in the 15th chapter of the ritual, represents nature dedicated to malediction, but saved by the sign of the light. That is what Baphomet is. That is what it represents. Pretty cool, isn't it? So, the Gnostic banquets and the pagan orgies which followed in his honor, so it's saying his, revealed enough of the moral consequences the adepts wished to derive from his exhibition. Alright, so it's amazing. This is seriously amazing. I just want to tell you guys everything I can. So in addition, one must wear on one's forehead, on one's breast, and right hand the sacred symbol of the reunited triangles forming the six-pointed star, whose figure we have already reproduced, and that is known in magic under the name of the Pentacle or Seal of Solomon. So that's what that is. Did I lose my page? I did. I did lose my page. No, I didn't. Thank God. Alright, so there's a few more things I want to share with you guys too. So it also goes over the abracadabra, which I think is fascinating as well. And it fully explains the abracadabra. So we have abra, it forms a triangle, which is this. The abracadabra, which is also in my book, Ouija Pump. So, Alright. So, independently of these signs in their evocations, the ancients made use of the mystic combination of the divine names according to the Hebrew Kabbalists that we have provided in the doctrine. So, the magical triangle of the pagan theosophers is the famous abracadabra, so to which they attribute extraordinary virtues, and which is figured in this way. So, the combination of letters is a key to the pentagram. The initial A is repeated 5 times and reproduced 30 times. 30 times. So, which provides the elements and the numbers for these two figures. So, the isolated A represents the unity of the first principle, or of the intellectual or active agent. So the A united with the B represents the foundation of the binary by unity. So the R is the sign of the tyranny, because it is a hieroglyph. Hieroglyphically represents the effusion, which results from the union of two principles. So the number 11 of the letters of the word add the unity of the initiate to the denary of Pythagoras, and the number 66, the added total of all the letters, Kabbalistically forms the number 12. So the number 12, which is the square of the tyranny, and in consequence the quadrature of the mystical circle. So let us remark on passing the author of the book of Revelation that a clavicle of the Christian Kabbalah composed the number of the beast, that is to say of idolatry, by adding another 6 to the double centenary of abracadabra. So, this makes sense. So they added another 6 to the double centenary of abracadabra, which Kabbalistically is 18, the number assigned in the tarot to the hieroglyphic sign of the night and profanity, the moon with the towers, the dog, the wolf, the crawfish, a mysterious and dark number whose Kabbalistic key is 9, the number of initiation. So, this is pretty cool. So, the Holy Kabbalistic spoke expressively about this subject. Quote, "Let him who hath understanding," unquote. That is to say that Kabbalistic numbers count the number of the beast. So, for it is the number of man, and his number is 666. It's not. So, in fact, Pythagoras' decad multiplied by itself and added to the sum of the triangular pentacle of abracadabra. It is thus the summary of all the magic of the ancient world, the entire program of human genius, which the divine genius of the Gospels wishes to absorb or supplant. So, these hieroglyphic combinations of letters and numbers belong to the practical part of the Kabbalah, which, from the point of view, is subdivided into gematria and temura. So these calculations, which now appear arbitrary to us or of no interest, then belong to the philosophical symbolism of the Orient, and had the greatest importance in the teaching of holy matters emanating from occult sciences. So we can see where the beast came in, how they redid the number of the beast. They just added to it. So it's pretty cool. Alright. Okay. So. Alright, so St. John, he actually has very good stuff. St. John. So the double triangle of Solomon is explained by St. John in a remarkable manner. So there are, says he, three who bear witness in heaven, the Father, the Logos, and the Holy Spirit, and three who bear witness on earth, the Spirit, the water, and the blood. St. John is thus in agreement with the masters of Hermetic philosophy, who give the names of who gives the names of ether to their sulfur, to their memory the name of philosophical water, and to their salt the qualification of dragon's blood, or the earth's menstrual blood. Blood or salt corresponds by opposition to the Father azotic, or mercurial water, with the verb or logos, and breath with the Holy Spirit. But matters of high symbolism cannot be properly heard except by the children of service. It's just amazing. I am completely blown away by all of this. So to the triangular combination one unites in magical ceremonies, the repetition of the names 3 times with different annotations. So to the magical wand was often attached a small magnetized fork, which Paracelsus replaced with a trident, whose figure we provide here. So the trident is a sign of devotion to a deity of some kind. There it is. Pretty interesting. So Paracelsus's trident is a pentacle, which expresses the summary of the tyranny, which is us, in the unity, and thus completes the sacred quaternary. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Pretty interesting. So I thought that was just very interesting stuff. It goes into more about Baphomet, more information. Just so much to do in this. All right. Wait a minute. Is there anything else that I wanted to show you guys? No. I'm like no. So, hopefully this helps, a little bit with anything that you guys are, wanting to go through or try, and, I will blog for you guys the formulation of the pentagrams, for the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, and I will go into further detail on Patreon for you guys. So, yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a little different, so I think some stuff just needs to be put out there like that. So, alright guys, I will see you all definitely tomorrow, and I've got to clean now and ship more stuff. So, I love you all very much with all my heart. All the way from Venus, all the way back down. And I will see you guys tomorrow, so let me know what you guys think, and yes, I just want to know what you guys think. So, alright guys, I love you all.